So now we will make the boilerplate for our project, or you can say the framework, whatever. We're gonna build the shape of our project and how the files will be divided. So let me now, I'm gonna tell you that you can build that in many ways. This is a new file. So the way I will start with, I will open the VS Code, and from here we will build the project. There are many ways actually to build the project. You just can do it here manually, you just can do it from the outside, you just can do it from the terminal. So let's go from the terminal. Actually, this is the way you will have to get used to. It will be better as a programmer to work from the terminal, but it's just like, if you feel like it's a pain, then that is because you are not used to do it. But if you used to do that, you will find this helpful, very helpful actually. So now let me make a directory, and I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna call it src, which is the source. And inside the source, let me do two other directories, one for the client and one for the server. And inside the client one, let me, for example, make directory, and let me inside the client put just like, I can write the client like this, and I'm gonna, but you know what, it's better to cd, which means that I'm gonna get into the client, and inside the client I'm gonna make two directories, one for the public, in which we're gonna put the style and the images folders, and we're gonna make, and you know, if I did like this and I put style, and I'm gonna make also public, let me try, just like I'm gonna try this, public style and public images. Let's see how this will be done. So exactly, so I first have to make the directory, and then I will put other directories inside of it. So I'm gonna make a directory called public, and I'm gonna make another directory called views, and another directory for the scripts, in which I will write the script just like index.js. So now if I open the client, I have three directories here, one for the public, one for the views, one for the scripts. So before we forget, let's put some things in these folders. In the public, I'll put the style, of course. So we're gonna cd, and just like, you know, we don't have to cd, we just have to say public. So create for me images, for example. Yes, he will create the images right now, just like this, look. So now we have the images, and also again, make directory public, and I'm gonna put just like the style folder. So now we have a folder for the style, images and style. And from here also, I'll put inside the scripts, I'll put just like an index. Maybe it's just like handle form file, because of course the only file you will need is a form handler. You can put the other functions that you will do inside the form handler, you can put them in new scripts, or you can put them in the same file. But mostly you have a form in your project, so the file you will need is a form handle when submit. So we can put that temporarily in the scripts like this. And for the views, I'm gonna put, of course, the known file index.html. Yep, so now we have finished the client, you know, and we have put the files that we need inside them. And let's go now and do something else, which is inside the client itself. I need also to make an index.js, and usually this is actually being used as the entry file, you know. here we will import styles, we will import scripts, we will import the handle form.js, and we will export them also, just like this will be the entry point for the webpack, and everything will be run from here. Now for the server, so let me cd out of the client and go to the server, and inside the server I'm gonna just like put, for now I'm gonna touch and make server.js, where you will put these static files about the express and the cores and the router. Everything you will do in the back end, you will do it in this file. Of course, you may create other files for handling the APIs, because you will not write everything inside one function. That's actually a general concept, and I know you know that. Maybe you don't, I don't know. But a function usually, as a good use or a good use case, you have to make a function do only one thing, and if you want to do another thing, make a separate function and just call it from inside the main function. So now we have made the server, and I guess the src is ready, but I think we have made a big mistake, because we didn't put the server and the client inside, and now we will have to use the manual fast way, by which we will just like move everything to the source. So now I have the source has a client and a server. It's okay. So, but you know what? I'm gonna get out, and now I'm inside the travel app YouTube code. And let's ls, we will find that we only have a list that only have source inside it. So our file only have now a source folder. But outside the source folder, we should put some things that should remain in the global root of our directory. So the first one is the environment file, and the environment file is used for the API keys and things like this. So if you wanna just like save any key that you will use, and that you should have your own key that is not being public to everyone, you have to put it here. But of course this is just like a trial, so it's okay, you don't have to but you have to do that. It's the right usage for the matter. But for me as a YouTuber here, I will let you see everything, because I don't care actually if you take this code or not, or the keys, because the keys are not premium anyway. So touch.env, and now I think these are the files we need, the source file and the .env. And now let's do two more things that are really, really important. The first one is that I want to getnet to initialize this directory to be a get directory. A get means that I can save it and I can make a version control system. That's what it's called, a version control system, something like this. VCS. I don't know, but it's something like this. Yeah. So get init, which means I'm initializing this directory, initialize empty get repository. So now this is a repository that is making our project, and we will be able to save and commit our changes for the project. And we will also be able to go back in time and go to a point in the project where we have to handle something from the start, or maybe we have to edit a change that we made in the past. Things like this. Maybe we will not use it a lot here, but just like for the best usage, I'm trying to follow the rules that we will do in just like in a real project. Now we have made a Git repository. It's empty now. So let's see what is the status of that repository. Yes, we have an env file and we have a source folder, and they are not committed yet. So now we have to tell Git to add these files to the staging area where we will commit them, which means that control version he made. Now he will save in it all what we have made under a name, or it's just like a edition 1 or add number 1. It's like this, the version number 1 from our file, the version number 1 from our project. So let's now see the status, and you will find it with green, which means that it is now staged and ready for committing. So we will say git commit, and we will write the message or the name. I will call it for this commit, I will call it making the boiler plate for our project. Okay, so now everything is committed, and if you get a status again, you will not find anything to commit because you have committed everything. And the other step here to make this project able to work fine is that we need to install the package.json. So package.json means I'm gonna npm in it, which means I'm gonna make this project able to use the npm packages and download things like Axios, things like Express, things like Cores, any package you will need to make your project work fine. Even Webpack, you will need to npm in the project to make it valid to use the packages. So you're gonna npm in it, but I'm gonna say -- yes, because this will shortcut everything he will ask me about, because he will ask you what is the name of your project, what is the description, and things like this. So if you put -- yes, he will choose the name, he will choose the version, he will choose the description, and the main entry file for your project from where he needs to read and run the scripts. And the scripts is a very important thing, because from the scripts this project is getting handled. The script means the way you're gonna compile all of the files and make them able to produce something like a user interface, a local host where you can go to and see your public files. However, things like this. The script is the way we run our project, and it's only found in the package.json. So now we have done everything, and I guess we have to move now to download the Webpack and make everything work fine. But I have some news. I will not use that by my own or from scratch. I will just copy paste, and I will show you how I copy paste that, because I already did that in the evaluate news article, and I did it in the weather journal app, and I did it in other projects. So there is no use to do that again if you already know how to do it. And I know that it will serve the video better to do them by myself, but believe me, I think if you are doing this for Udacity, this is the final project, so it means you have done this before and already gone through this process. So I'm just gonna hint to what is the meaning of everything I'm copying, but at the end it is your turn to just like practice if you didn't practice this before, or watch the previous video if you want to see how I set up Webpack. But the thing I'm talking about is Webpack is a static file. Static means it will not change a lot between a project and the other, especially because these are simple projects. So I'm not gonna change a lot of things. Yeah, I may add one package or two, but not more than that. Everything else will remain the same. Nothing will change. So if you want to copy yours, do it. If you want to copy mine, do it. Just do not forget to put the same entry point in the same location, because this will be the more important thing that will make both of them run the exact way and use the loaders and the plugins the right way. So let's see now how I'm gonna copy the Webpack.